Every dream you have, every vision you carry, every success story you admire, none of it comes without a price. And that price is sacrifice. The truth that most people don't want to accept is that success is never free. It demands something from you. It demands your time, your comfort, your habits, sometimes even your relationships. If you want to rise above average, you can't live like everyone else. You have to be willing to give up what most people cling to, so you can achieve what most people will never reach. Think about anyone you look up to. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. Behind their victories, there are hidden sacrifices that nobody sees. The hours of practice while others were asleep. The nights of work while friends were partying. The endless discipline when distractions were everywhere. Success isn't built in public. It's built in the quiet hours of sacrifice, where you trade temporary pleasures for permanent rewards. Peter Dinklage, before becoming a household name, spent years struggling. He didn't have comfort, he didn't have fame, and he didn't have endless opportunities. But what he had was a willingness to sacrifice. He took small roles, lived in tiny spaces, faced rejection after rejection, but refused to give up his dream. While many would have chosen the easier path, settling for comfort, choosing safety over struggle, he sacrificed comfort for purpose. And because he did, the world eventually saw his greatness. That's the truth. You cannot have both comfort and success. You have to choose. If you choose comfort today, you might feel good in the moment, but you'll regret it tomorrow. If you choose sacrifice today, it will hurt in the moment, but it will shine tomorrow. Every great success story is written with the ink of sacrifice. Look at athletes who train their bodies day in and day out. They sacrifice food they love, nights of rest, time with family and friends. But those sacrifices pay off when they step into the arena and the world watches them rise. Look at entrepreneurs who sacrifice steady paychecks, security, and countless hours, risking it all to build something greater. The world only sees the end result, the medals, the money, the recognition. They don't see the price that was paid behind the scenes, and here's the important part. Sacrifice doesn't mean losing. It means investing. When you sacrifice, you're not throwing something away. You're planting it as a seed for the future. When you sacrifice your comfort today, you're investing in the strength you'll need tomorrow. When you sacrifice distractions, you're creating space for focus. When you sacrifice excuses, you're making room for results. But too many people want success without sacrifice. They want the shine without the grind. They want the victory without the fight. That's why they stay stuck. They're not willing to pay the price. They choose temporary pleasure over lasting purpose. And then they wonder why their dreams never become reality. You have to ask yourself, what am I willing to give up? Because until you're willing to sacrifice, you'll never step into your full potential. Success doesn't demand that you give up everything, but it does demand that you give up something. It might be your laziness. It might be your fear. It might be your late-night distractions. It might be the need for constant approval from others. Whatever it is, sacrifice it. Because every sacrifice you make today is a brick in the foundation of your tomorrow. One day, people will look at your success and say, "You're lucky." But you'll know it wasn't luck. It was sacrifice. It was the nights you stayed disciplined, the mornings you got up early, the choices you made when nobody was watching. That's the real price of success. And if you're willing to pay it, then tomorrow you will shine. We live in a world full of noise, notifications buzzing, endless scrolling, people demanding your attention, and opportunities for distraction everywhere you turn. And here's the brutal truth. Distractions are dream killers. They steal your time, they drain your focus, and they keep you from reaching your potential. If you want to shine tomorrow, you can't just sacrifice comfort. You also need the discipline to protect your focus from the distractions of today. Discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. You can have the biggest dream in the world, but if you can't discipline yourself, that dream will stay locked in your mind forever. Discipline means doing what you know you must do even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is choosing consistency over convenience. Discipline is saying no to what feels good right now so you can say yes to what will feel great in the future. Every distraction that pulls you away from your path is a thief. It doesn't just steal your time, it steals your future. Think about it. How many hours are lost to endless scrolling, to binge watching, to gossip, to things that add no value to your life. Each of those hours could have been invested into your growth, your skills, your health, your dreams. But once they're gone, you can't get them back. That's why discipline matters. Discipline guards your time. Discipline protects your vision. Discipline keeps you moving when everything else is trying to pull you off course. Peter Dinklage could have given in to distractions. He could have chased quick money, chosen comfort, or wasted his time trying to fit into roles that didn't match his purpose. But he didn't. He stayed disciplined. Even when the roles were small, even when the opportunities seemed non-existent, he disciplined himself to keep showing up, to keep sharpening his craft, to keep believing in the bigger picture. And that discipline over years of rejection eventually opened the doors the world now celebrates. The problem with distractions is that they feel harmless in the moment. Watching one more episode, spending another hour on social media, saying yes to one more hangout, it doesn't feel like a big deal. But those small choices add up. One day becomes a week becomes a month, and suddenly a year has passed and your dream hasn't moved forward. That's the silent danger of distractions. They don't destroy you instantly. They destroy you slowly, and discipline is the only shield you have against them. So how do you build discipline? Start small. Discipline is not about doing everything at once. It's about creating habits that align with your vision. Wake up earlier than you want to. Work on your goals even when you're tired. Turn off the distractions that tempt you. Create routines that force progress. And most importantly, remind yourself every day why you started. When your why is strong enough, your discipline becomes unstoppable. Discipline also requires sacrifice. You may have to sacrifice late nights with friends. You may have to sacrifice hours of entertainment. You may even have to sacrifice relationships with people who constantly pull you away from your goals. But every sacrifice makes you stronger. Every sacrifice makes you sharper. Every sacrifice is proof that you're serious about your future. Remember this: distractions will always be there. They don't disappear. They will always try to lure you back. But discipline is a choice you make daily. It's the commitment you give to yourself that no matter what pulls at you, you will stay focused on what matters most. One day, your discipline will pay off. While others are still distracted, you will be ahead. While others are still making excuses, you will be living your dream. And when people ask how you did it, the answer will be simple. You chose discipline over distractions. That choice made all the difference. Nobody likes pain. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "I can't wait to suffer today." But here's the truth. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Pain is the price you pay for growth. And the greatest people in history understood this one principle. If you can endure short-term pain, you unlock long-term gain. Think about the gym. When you lift weights, your muscles burn, your body aches, and it feels uncomfortable. That's pain. But what happens after weeks and months of consistent training? You grow stronger, faster, healthier. The short-term pain builds long-term strength. Without that pain, there is no growth. And life works the same way. The challenges, the struggles, the failures, the sacrifices, they hurt in the moment. But they are preparing you for something greater down the road. The problem is, most people run from pain. They avoid discomfort. They want success, but they don't want the struggle that comes with it. They want results, but they don't want to pay the price. That's why they stay stuck. They choose the easy path today, and that decision costs them their future. What they don't realize is that pain is temporary, but the rewards of pushing through pain are permanent. Peter Dinklage knows this reality well. Before he became famous, he faced years of rejection and disappointment. He lived in uncomfortable situations, worked jobs he didn't love, and endured the frustration of not being recognized for his talent. That was pain. But instead of letting it break him, he embraced it. He accepted that the struggle was part of the journey. And because he endured that short-term pain, he reached long-term gain, a successful career, global recognition, and the ability to inspire millions. Pain has a way of revealing who you are. When things get hard, when life gets uncomfortable, when nothing seems to be working, that's when your character is tested. Do you give up, or do you push forward? The people who succeed are not the ones who avoid pain, but the ones who walk through it. They understand that pain is a signal not to stop but to grow. Imagine a student preparing for exams. The late nights of studying, the stress, the endless hours of practice, it's painful. But when the results come, when the degree is earned, when the opportunities open, that short-term pain transforms into a lifetime of possibilities. Imagine an entrepreneur working day and night on their business, sacrificing weekends, facing rejection after rejection. That's painful. But when the business succeeds, when financial freedom is achieved, that long-term gain makes every moment of pain worth it. The same applies to your life. Whatever dream you're chasing, there will be pain. There will be times when you feel exhausted, when you want to quit, when the struggle seems too heavy. But if you can remind yourself that this pain is temporary, you'll push through. And when you push through, you will come out stronger, wiser, and closer to your goal. The question is not whether pain will come, it will. The question is, will you let it stop you or will you let it shape you? Pain can either be the excuse that holds you back or the fuel that pushes you forward. The choice is yours. One day, when you're living your dream, when you're shining in the success you built, you'll look back at the pain and realize it wasn't a curse. It was a blessing. It was the very thing that molded you, sharpened you, and prepared you for greatness. Short-term pain always leads to long-term gain if you refuse to quit. So, the next time life gets hard, the next time you feel the weight of struggle pressing down on you, remember this. The pain you feel today is building the strength you'll need tomorrow. Endure it, embrace it, because that short-term pain is the bridge to your long-term gain. Comfort feels good, doesn't it? Staying in bed a little longer, avoiding the hard work, taking the easy option. It feels safe, it feels relaxing, it feels nice. But here's the reality you need to understand. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you are trading your future for a moment of ease. Greatness and comfort cannot live in the same place. If you want to grow, if you want to shine tomorrow, you must learn to step out of comfort and embrace discomfort. Think about it. Nothing extraordinary was ever built inside a comfort zone. Athletes don't break records by staying comfortable. Leaders don't inspire the world by staying safe. Entrepreneurs don't build empires by avoiding risk. Every single achievement worth talking about came from someone who decided to leave comfort behind and step into the unknown. Comfort might make you feel good today, but it will steal the growth that could make you great tomorrow. The comfort zone is a trap. It whispers in your ear. Stay here, it's easy, it's safe, don't push yourself. But what it doesn't tell you is that while you're comfortable, you're not moving forward. You're not stretching. You're not learning. You're not becoming more. Growth only happens in discomfort. Growth happens when you push past your limits, when you do the things that scare you, when you work harder than you feel like working. Peter Dinklage knew this truth. He could have chosen a comfortable life. He could have settled for an easy job that gave him security but no fulfillment. He could have avoided the years of struggle and rejection that came with chasing acting. But he didn't. He rejected comfort because he knew that comfort would kill his dream. He chose the harder path, the uncertain path, the uncomfortable path. And because he did, he grew into the actor and the inspiration that millions admire today. Comfort feels safe. But it's dangerous. It's dangerous because it makes you believe that you're okay where you are. It makes you settle. It makes you stop reaching for more. And once you settle, your growth dies. Your dreams fade. Your potential goes to waste. Think about the butterfly. Before it can fly, it struggles inside the cocoon. That struggle is uncomfortable, it's painful, it's difficult. But without it, the butterfly never develops the strength to spread its wings. If someone tried to make it comfortable by cutting open the cocoon early, the butterfly would never fly. That's what comfort does to you. It stops you from building the strength you need to soar. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you grow. When you speak in front of people even though you're afraid, you grow confidence. When you take on a challenge you've never faced before, you grow resilience. When you push your body and mind further than you thought possible, you grow strength. Discomfort is the birthplace of greatness. So ask yourself, are you living in comfort or are you living in growth? Because you cannot have both. If you stay comfortable, your future will look exactly like your present. But if you embrace discomfort, your future will be unrecognizable, bigger, better, brighter. Here's the truth. Comfort is easy now, but painful later. Growth is painful now, but powerful later. The choice is yours. You can stay safe, or you can step into discomfort and become everything you were meant to be. One day, when you look back, you won't remember the times you were comfortable. You'll remember the times you stepped into the unknown, the times you pushed yourself, the times you refused to settle. Those will be the moments that shaped your life. Comfort never creates stories worth telling. Discomfort does, so don't let comfort hold you hostage. Break free, step into the discomfort, because that's where growth lives. That's where success is waiting. And that's how you turn sacrifice today into the shine of tomorrow. Sacrifice on its own is powerful, but without patience, sacrifice loses its meaning, because every great achievement takes time. You can put in the work, you can pay the price, you can make the sacrifices, but if you expect instant results, you'll end up disappointed. The truth is, patience is the partner of sacrifice. They walk hand in hand. Sacrifice plants the seed, but patience gives it time to grow. We live in a world that celebrates speed. Everything is instant. Instant food, instant messages, instant gratification. People want success the same way. They want it fast, they want it now. But real success doesn't work that way. Growth takes time. Transformation takes time. Building anything meaningful takes time. If you're not patient, you'll quit before you see the results of your sacrifice. Think about a farmer. He works hard to prepare the land, plants the seeds, waters the soil. That's sacrifice. But after all that, does the crop appear the next day? No, he has to wait. He has to be patient, knowing that the seed is doing its work underground even if he can't see it. Life is the same. Your sacrifices are like seeds. You may not see results immediately, but something is happening. Growth is taking place. And if you stay patient, one day the harvest will come. Peter Dinklage spent years waiting for his moment. He had already sacrificed comfort, time, and opportunities. But nothing big happened overnight. He wasn't handed success on a silver platter. He waited through years of small roles, through rejection, through moments of doubt. His patience allowed his sacrifices to mature, and when the right opportunity came, he was ready to shine. That's the power of patience. Too many people quit because they think sacrifice isn't working. They give up too soon. They say, "I've been working hard, but nothing is happening." What they don't realize is that success takes time. Growth is often invisible at first. Just because you don't see results doesn't mean nothing is happening. Patience is trusting the process. Patience is believing that your effort will pay off, even when there's no evidence yet. Every sacrifice you make will test your patience. You'll wonder if it's worth it. You'll wonder if anything is changing. That's where most people quit. But those who endure, those who wait, those who stay consistent despite the silence, they are the ones who see the reward. Sacrifice without patience is wasted, but sacrifice with patience creates transformation. Patience doesn't mean doing nothing. It means continuing to work, continuing to sacrifice while waiting for the results to show. It means showing up every day, staying disciplined, and trusting that your time will come. It means focusing on the process, not just the outcome. Think about some of the greatest success stories. Athletes who trained for years before ever winning a championship. Entrepreneurs who failed dozens of times before finally succeeding. Artists who practiced in obscurity before the world noticed them. All of them sacrificed, but what made their sacrifice meaningful was patience, the ability to keep going long enough to see the payoff. Remember this, a diamond doesn't form overnight. It takes years of pressure. A tree doesn't grow in a day. It takes seasons. And your dream won't be built in an instant. It will take time. But if you combine sacrifice with patience, you will build something lasting, something strong, something unshakable. So don't rush the process. Don't quit just because results aren't immediate. Stay patient. Keep sacrificing, because patience is not just waiting, it's waiting while you keep working. And if you can master that, your tomorrow will shine brighter than you ever imagined. One day, people won't remember the nights you stayed awake working, the meals you skipped, the comforts you gave up, or the sacrifices you made in silence. But they will see the result. They will see the success, the achievement, the shine, and when they ask you how you did it, your answer will be simple: through sacrifice. Because your sacrifice doesn't just shape your future, it becomes your story. Think about the people who inspire you most. Whether it's an actor, an athlete, an entrepreneur, or a leader, what makes their story powerful? It's not just their success. It's the sacrifices they made to reach it. We admire people not only because they won, but because of what they gave up to win. Sacrifice is what gives success its meaning. Without sacrifice, the story is empty. Peter Dinklage is celebrated today not only for his talent, but for his journey. The years of rejection, the small roles, the struggles. That's what makes his success inspiring. If his path had been easy, his story wouldn't move us. But because he sacrificed, because he endured the hard times, his story now has the power to motivate millions. His sacrifice became his story, and his story became his gift to the world. And the same is true for you. Every sacrifice you make is writing your story. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you choose patience over quitting, you're adding another powerful chapter to your journey. One day, someone will look at your success and be inspired by the struggles you overcame to get there. The truth is, people connect more with your pain than your victory. Victory inspires them, but your sacrifices make them believe it's possible for them too. When people see that you suffered, that you endured, that you paid the price and still made it, they realize they can too. That's the power of sacrifice. It doesn't just change you, it changes the people who hear your story. Think about it. Every hero's journey in history is built on sacrifice. The hero leaves comfort, faces struggle, loses something valuable, and only then achieves greatness. That's why we remember them. That's why their stories are told for generations. Your life is no different. You are writing your hero's journey right now, and the sacrifices you make today will be the very thing that makes your story unforgettable tomorrow. Here's the question you need to ask yourself. What kind of story are you writing? If you choose comfort, if you avoid sacrifice, your story will be one of regret, of what could have been. But if you choose sacrifice, your story will be one of courage, perseverance, and triumph. It will be a story worth telling, a story that inspires, a story that lives on long after you're gone. One day, people will talk about how you refused to quit, how you gave up temporary pleasures for lasting purpose, how you endured the struggle and built something incredible. They'll admire your success, but they'll respect your sacrifice. Because it's not the shine alone that inspires, it's the sacrifice that gave birth to the shine. So remember this. Your sacrifices are not wasted. Every struggle, every hard choice, every moment of pain, it's all becoming part of your story. And one day that story will not only remind you of how far you've come, it will inspire others to believe in how far they can go. Your sacrifice is not just for you, it's for everyone who will be touched by your journey. So embrace it, live it, because your sacrifice is becoming your story, and your story is the light that will guide others out of the darkness.